Strap in for the world's fastest half hour. You're on the Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. And brought to you by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Herbert and Marty Hough.
This is the Straight Line on Drag Racing. Thanks for stopping by our half hour of horsepower. Appreciate you being with us. Funny car winner at Summit Racing Equipment Motorsports Park. Matt Hagan will be here and will celebrate a first-time win. Top Fuel winner, Blake Alexander. We're in the beams and set to launch another edition of the Straight Line. Wherever you may be, coast to coast, around the world, this is the Straight Line on Drag Racing at MRN.com. Along with four-time IHRA Top Fuel champion and 10-time NHRA National Event winner, Doug Herbert. I am Marty Hough, and coming off the weekend at in Ohio at Summit Racing Equipment Motorsports Park. And Doug, we're about to talk to a first-time winner, and that's always something very, very special. Blake Alexander winning his first Top Fuel Wally, and that's it was a great moment for him.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, anytime you win the first race is a great thing. Winning at Norwalk and all the fun stuff there, very, very good. His crew chief, Ron Douglas, I'd been friends with for a long time. He worked for me on my team for about 10 years. So had a good conversation with Ron earlier. Just a great job by that team. They did a great job getting into the winner's circle. You know what? Winning a Top Fuel race is not easy. Yeah. So for them to get that car to the winner's circle, great job. The 105th ever winner in NHRA Top Fuel, Blake Alexander. So that's great. We'll enjoy talking to him in a little bit.
Yeah, and as advertised, we'll also talk to Matt Hagan about winning in Funny Car and about what he did on Monday, which is really interesting news in itself. In testing, maybe not so much, but what he was testing is a little bit of news, and we'll talk about that here in a couple of minutes. Congratulations go out to Tanner Gray, Andrew Hines, and Tricky Ricky Smith. Old Man River, he keeps on rolling, and I mean, you just can't keep that old man down. He wins in Pro Mod, and he is just an unbelievable race car driver, winning at his age and winning in dramatic fashion.
Well, yeah, Matt Smith and Ricky Smith. I mean, they know how to win, right? Yeah. Matt didn't fall far from the tree there with his dad. His dad and I were lucky enough to be in the winner's circle several times together at IHRA doing things, and he used to fly to the races with me every week for many years. And so Ricky's a great guy. Happy to see him win over there. That NHRA Pro Mod deal is tough. I mean, there's some high-dollar teams running Pro Mod, and the Pro Stock field, you've got maybe 16 cars. Pro Mod, you've got 30-something cars for a 16-car field. So that's a tough deal. And for Ricky to be a winner for probably going on 4 decades or so, that's pretty stout.
And to your point, their D&Q list is an all-star race waiting to happen. So I mean, some of the best racers in Pro Mod, in drag racing, are going home every week on these Pro Mod weekends. And so when you can win one of those deals, that's a feather in your cap. But when you've been doing it as long as Ricky Smith has, I mean, that just kind of ones up everything. Tanner Gray wins in Pro Stock. He just keeps impressing. I have 38 wins in 38 races or something close to that number right there. I mean, his winning percentage is incredible.
Pretty high.
Yeah, you think, at some point, he'll kind of drop off or whatever. No, he just keeps on going. And
he had a near perfect light in the final round against Eric Enders and beat Eric on a hole shot, which doesn't happen a whole lot. I mean, Erica's on, she's on it. Yeah. So that, I mean, another good win for that Gray Motorsports team. Very, very proud of those guys. And Eddie Craywick won on the Harley Davidson Pro Stock motorcycle with Andrew Hines as his crew chief. So pretty good to see those Vance and Hines guys, doing what they do and winning races. They just, you can't knock them down very often. They might go a few races without winning, and then all of a sudden there they come back and wham, they got you again.
Yeah, and one of the things from this weekend was that it was really weather marred for Friday and Saturday. Some of the categories only getting one qualifying attempt in before Sunday. How tough is that for teams when you really don't know when you're going to get on the track, and then when you only have one qualifying round in going into Sunday? That can't be easy.
Well, you've got to pay attention and you've got to get it down the track. Ask Cruz Pendergrass, he didn't qualify.
Yeah.
And, they've had a pretty good team. They won a race not too long ago. And then Clay Milliken goes out there and runs low ET and top speed again. Courtney Forrest goes out there and runs low ET and top speed again. So the teams that kind of got it together kept it rolling. So very pretty neat though. But like you say, you get back into the corner, you've got one run, you got to get it down the track. And I'll tell you what, that is a crew chief's nightmare. Well, and a lot of pressure on. I mean, driver and crew chief. I mean, you have to get it down the track. There's absolutely no mistakes allowed. That's a nail biter.
Yeah, and we'll talk to Matt Hagan about that here in just a minute. Also, it may be interesting to talk to Blake Alexander about that too, because a veteran like Hagan, he can probably get to it. One of the newcomers coming up through the ranks, like Blake Alexander, that may be a little bit tough. And we'll ask both drivers about the weather situation this weekend at Norwalk. But when we come back, we will talk to the winner of the Funny Car class. Matt Hagan joins us next.
Defend your vehicle from harmful elements and restore shine with Armor All Canister Wipes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 2 Armor All Canister Wipes for $8. Easily remove dirt, dust, and grime with Armor All Canister Wipes. Buy 2 for $8 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When the smoke settles, the entertainment never stops.
Time just flies when you're busy, I think.
On race weekends, your favorite NASCAR personality is an everyday superhero.
And Martin Truex Jr. is a champion.
But when they leave the racetrack, they're just like everyone else.
You never know if you'll get another chance to do it.
I'm Susie Armstrong. Join me on a daily journey as we discuss the hot topics and engaging personalities of NASCAR Nation. Ned Jarrett's World of Racing, weekdays on the Motor Racing Network.
Live sports are the one true reality entertainment, where a single dramatic moment can become timeless. In NASCAR, Motor Racing Network's live broadcasts elevate your senses to the sights, sounds, and struggles taking place on the racetrack.
Austin Dillon leads the pack. No one ever thought he would contend for the win. He's going to win the 60th running of the Daytona 500.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's more with Marty Hough and Doug Herbert.
Appreciate you being with us here on MRN.com. And joining us on the Racing Electronics Hotline right now is the winner of the Funny Car class at Norwalk, driver of the Mopar Dodge for Don Schumacher Racing, is Matt Hagan. Matt, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on the win.
Hey, thanks, guys, man. I'm a little under the weather, so if I sound off, I apologize about that. But it seems like when I'm sick, I do better. I don't know. I wasn't into when I was sick, you know. Every time I pulled the parachutes, you know, you'd have snot come out and hit your headstock. You're like, God, somebody could do a top-end interview, and they're like, wipe your nose, dude.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Thing, man. Yeah, it is tough. It's tough. But, you know, it's we'll take it any day we can get it like that, man. We had a great weekend out there in Norwalk, and the first time for me, man, you know, they give you that ice cream scoop, which I'm going to turn into a big protein scoop, you know what I mean? And just just have fun with it. But, no, it was great to get it done, man. It's been a little while since we won, so it's good to see 4 win lights come on.
Well, the second win of the year, and, you know, Dickie Venables seems to know how to get down those tricky racetracks. He knows how to throw it down, but he's been around and got that experience to get it down the tricky racetracks. And then the final, you had a 33 light. Like, man, you were ready to get that win in the final.
Well, I was in a little bit. Obviously, you know, I'll try to keep lane choice all day. You know, we all wanted to be over there in the right lane for our team anyway. That's what we were, you know, feeling the best about. And so I was trying to be thin all day long. And then in the finals, you put it in a couple numbers, you know, just to shorten up the racetrack a little bit. So I'd love to say that 33 was all me, but I was in probably 200, you know, and just one of those things where I was still up and feeling good. And, you know, I was wanting it pretty bad, you know, because she had beat us in the final last time. And, you know, just one of those things where, you know, we had lane choice and we kept lane choice for the final. And we were able to put her over in that left lane, and they weren't able to go down it there in qualifying. And it didn't look like it got down it in the final round. So, it just lane choice is huge, and that's why I try to stay thin during the race day, and hopefully we can run hard enough to keep choice, and I really do think that helps win races,
Weather was an issue on both Friday and Saturday. How were you able to keep your composure and just kind of be able to plod along on those days, because you really didn't know when you were going to get out on the track? It was just whenever you got a window, you were able to get out there. How do you handle weather delays on a situation like that, especially over 2 days?
Well, you figure out what's on TV in your lounge, man. I mean, it's just, you're there all day long, and those are just long days because, Graham and all those guys, they want, obviously track owners, they want to sell hot dogs and T-shirts and stuff, and they're not going to let you go unless there's absolutely no chance of getting it in. And so you look up sometimes and you're there from, 7:30, 8 o'clock that morning till 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And it just makes to make one run, and it just makes for some really long days. But, you're there until they tell you to go home, and you just got to get mentally focused for that. But I was feeling so bad, I didn't even want to put a helmet on. I was kind of like, I don't want to feel these G-forces right now, but it just, enough daytime cold medicine, I guess you can do anything and feel like Superman for a couple hours.
Well, I'll tell you what, you did your job definitely on Sunday, so great job there. And I also wanted to thank you for all your help with brakes, coming to a golf tournament and doing the things that you help us for. It seems like your kids are probably they're going to be about the right age and be coming pretty soon too, huh?
Yeah, my boy's 11, and, I think you guys have a great thing there, obviously, for these young kids learning to drive and coming up. And, my wife, she's about 4 weeks away from having our fourth. And, it's just she's kind of, like trying to make me get home as soon as I can and obviously leave as late as we can just in case anything happens. But, the kids and the family and stuff, my little girl, she's 8, my boy's 11, and then I got a 1-year-old at home, and like I said, about 4 weeks away from having our fourth would be a little girl. And so family and kids and driving and all that kind of stuff is scary. So I'm glad that there's a program out there like you guys got with brakes to teach these young kids how to drive and really keep them safe out there, because I know I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was younger, and just one of those things where if we can keep kids from doing that, then we're definitely going to be out here longer and be safer.
So if you're a month away from your fourth child, that's going to be right around and maybe even in the middle of the West Coast swing. So have you started putting together a contingency plan?
Yeah, pretty much. My wife, we've been talking about, we thought about maybe inducing or something, but honestly, she's real, wants the kids to come when it's that time, So my biggest thing is Denver obviously is my biggest race of the year for Mopar, because they sponsor that whole deal. They have the block party. Yeah. And so usually I got to go in on a Tuesday, but now I got to where I talked to all the big bosses, and they're cool with me coming in on Thursday and leaving out Sunday night, because she's due that Monday after Denver. Oh. And if it falls on due date. But my last kid, my little boy Tucker, he was born on Saturday night, and when we were in Reading, and I was able to fly home. Yeah, it was up all night, and I had my pom-poms out and was telling her to push, and then I got to hold him for 30 minutes and got back on a plane and made the race on Sunday with no sleep. But went to the semis. I think Caps beat me on a hole shot, but I hadn't been asleep in 2 days, so I guess I'll just kind of chalk it up to that. But anyway, I've been there for them all, so I don't know. I'm really kind of a little bit nervous, but this is her fourth, so it's one of those things where she's kind of a pro at it right now, so she knows what she's doing way better than I do. So I think we'll be all right either way.
Well, congratulations again on the win. Good luck with number 4 kid coming up here in the next month. We're looking forward to talking to you about that. Might as well just keep on having 10 or so, right? I mean, working on a basketball team, and who knows what we can do with it after you get back. Yeah, you got your farm hands, you got the basketball team, you're all set.
Oh man, thank you guys for having me on the show. Hopefully we can talk some more. Another thing we did do, man, is we tested Monday with this new Mopar body.
Yeah, we wanted to get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, man. We made 4 really, really good runs with that body. Just the downforce, just everything that's going to be happening with this. We're able to, like the Force cars right now, they can run a different type of header because their bodies are narrow, and ours will burn the paint off of the side of the cars, or burn the body, period. So we can't do that right now. But now this body is going to allow us to do that. And it's also going to allow us to have more downforce on the racetrack so we can push harder like Courtney and those guys are on some of these marginal racetracks. So super, super excited about that. I think that's going to kind of like narrow the gap on what those guys got as far as being able to go out there and lay down crazy numbers in the heat and stuff like that. So had a great test session with it. All the Mopar and Roush folks were really happy. And, I'm pumped up about it. So the body thing went really well, and we ran really well with it. So I think come Denver, when we debut it, it's going to be pretty cool looking.
So we're looking for – you're going to be really busy around that Denver time, debuting a new body and debuting a new kid. That'll be a special weekend.
Yes, well, hopefully we can win it. I've never won Denver. I red lit in the final against John years ago, and that's the closest I've come. So maybe we can make it one big, huge weekend and win the race too.
That'd be awesome. Matt Hagan, winner in the Mopar Dodge at Norwalk this past weekend, and looking forward to the races coming up here and having a new baby come along. Congratulations again, Matt.
Hey, thank you, guys. Y'all have a great day.
You too, bud.
Matt Hagan joining us on the straight line. Now, last week I tried to do this without my reading glasses, and I failed miserably. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on the reading glasses while I talk to you about the Ridge. Now, the Ridge is a minimal front pocket wallet design to let you ditch your bulky traditional wallet. The Ridge wallet is slim, RFID blocking, and has a lifetime guarantee. It's the last wallet you'll ever buy. It comes in titanium, carbon fiber, aluminum, and polycarbonate, and has over a dozen different styles and colors. Get 10% off today with free shipping worldwide by going to ridgewallet.com. That's ridgewallet.com, and use the promo code RACING. Ditch your bulky wallet today and get the Ridge at ridgewallet.com. When we return, we'll talk to Top Fuel winner Blake Alexander after this.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The 1993 Cup Series season had more than its fair share of twists and turns.
Checkered flags waving. I look in my mirror, and here's Earnhardt right on my tail, and he goes down low to pass me. And I said, oh, no, you don't.
As Wallace spins, Wallace's car goes on its nose.
Hear stories that you've never heard before in a 10-part series called The 1993 Season, 25 years later.
And Davey was behind me, and we came off the corner, and there's a guy standing in the middle of the racetrack.
You can download it for free on iTunes and at MRN.com right now.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now, back to Marty Hough and Doug Herbert.
Big thanks for joining us on MRN.com and The Straight Line this week. All of our guests come to you via the Racing Electronics hotline. Racing Electronics provides the best communication equipment and technology to professional teams and drivers. And that very same technology is available in every product that they offer to race fans. Visit racingelectronics.com to learn more. And right now, let's head over to our segment we like to call Red Light, Green Light. It is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. And this week, Doug, we're talking about Austin Prock, who got his
funny car
license on Monday at the Monday Nationals at Norwalk. Yeah. Two questions on that. Do you remember getting your nitro license? And first of all, how does that process begin? How do you get the process going to move up to the nitro class?
Well, you really, you don't have to necessarily. There's some guys, Del Warsham, for instance, has never had anything except a nitro license. He never raced.
I did not know that.
Nope, Del just started racing a fuel funny car right off the bat. So I think that there's some, but that's kind of not the normal thing. The normal thing is, like, I started racing an A dragster, alcohol dragster, and then got top fuel license. And I remember 1991 at Bakersfield, I went and Jimmy Nix and Robert Reel and Eddie Hill, Kenny Bernstein. I had signed my license. I was so excited. How
about that?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Eddie Hill, Kenny Bernstein, Reel. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. But for Austin to be able to do that, I sent him a message on Facebook, and he's a neat kid, you know, and his dad's a really neat guy, and that's great that he's got the opportunity to be over there at John Force Racing and to get in one of those cars. I mean, they're a world championship car right off the bat. So, you know, you got to wonder, what's the plan over there? They got to have a plan, right? Force, you know, is Proc going to be taking over one of those cars? You never know. I would say that would be highly likely if you asked me.
Yeah, if there's, I think, sponsorship pending, that's possible. Now, what do you have to do to get your nitro license?
Well, the first thing they do is they put you in the car with a blindfold on, and you have to be able to operate all the controls without seeing. So you got to be able to pull the parachute. You got to be able to shut the engine off, whatever. You've got to know where everything is by just memorizing that. So once they do that, that's basically the in-car part. And then they'll, on the track, you have to have other racers sign your license along with the NHRA official saying that you can control the car. You're safe driving the car. You know how to drive the car straight. You know how to stage your car. You know how to turn the car off at the end of the track. Just kind of the basic things, which, surprising. They sometimes will tell drivers, no, you're not ready yet, or we're going to run you on single runs without anybody next to you for a few runs, whatever, different things like that. So they're, different. I think the case varies. It varies case by case. When it comes down to it, it's kind of up to Graham Light or, the competition director at the NHRA. Do they feel comfortable with you driving one of these cars 300-something miles an hour? And if they do, they sign off and off you go.
And Austin Proc, being Jimmy Proc's son, he's been around this. This is not his first rodeo, for dang sure. And
well, he did some sprint car racing. Like, he's got some racing experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And working on cars, obviously, with his father, his grandfather, and so forth.
And we've talked to Courtney Force, Brittany Force about their learning process and how they went through and getting their licenses and moving up into the Mellow Yellow Series. And there was a period where John Force said, you just need to be towed around. And that's what they would do. They'd take them out to a parking lot and just tow the car around in a big parking lot, and you would have to drive, Courtney and Brittany, just get used to the steering. And Austin Proc did basically the same thing. NHRA knows, the kind of the learning process of what these guys go through. And so another guy with a nitro license out there and is one on the horizon. And that's Austin Proc, and be looking for him in the next couple of years as a development driver for John Force Racing. And when we return, we'll wrap up another great edition of the show.
Need auto parts but can't get to a store right now? Head to O'ReillyAuto.com. Buy your parts online and pick them up in any of the 5,000 O'Reilly Auto Parts stores nationwide. No shipping cost, easy returns, and convenient pickup on your schedule. Shop your way at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Things happen fast in racing, and if you don't know where to look, you can miss it all. With Legend from Racing Electronics, you'll never miss another moment. Legend gives you live fan vision video, in-car cameras, and stats at premier National Series events, and the next generation race scanner for unfiltered driver and crew audio at any motorsports event nationwide. Race fans have never been closer to the action. Welcome to the future of the fan experience. Learn more by visiting racingelectronics.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Tanner, inviting you to the all-new America's Tailgate Party, NASCAR USA. The sound is updated with fresh features and more of the voices you hear at the racetrack each week. The one thing that hasn't changed, it's 2 hours of the hottest hits in country music as we get you ready to go racing. So join us for the brand new edition of America's Tailgate Party, NASCAR USA, at the same place right here on the Motor Racing Network.
You're staged and ready for another run on the straight line. Brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's Doug and Marty.
Thanks for being here on MRN.com and the straight line. We've got a week off, and then we head to Epping. And the national event up in Epping, New Hampshire, a place where you've had lots of success up there, and just a beautiful area of the country.
Yeah, we've had fun racing up there in New Hampshire, just north of Boston a little ways. It's a very picturesque place, like trees, and it just, it's a beautiful part of the country. A lot of good seafood. It's a great place to run. I think a lot of the guys like running up there. And it can be very fast because the sea level conditions, you're basically right at sea level. Yeah. The weather is usually nice. So, I would expect the cars, depending upon the weather, to probably be pretty fast up there. So they'll be getting ready for that and then taking off the West Coast 3 weeks in a row on the West Coast.
So we just got done with 4 in a row. We take a week off. We go to Epping and then get a week off and then go straight out to the West Coast, and the West Coast swing to Bandimere, to Sonoma, and up to Pacific Raceways in Seattle. So what are the teams doing right now after this epic 4-week swing where it was one race after another? I would imagine that there's a thrash going on back at the shop, replacing everything in the trailer and getting it ready for Epping.
Well, I think there's a lot of work going on at the shop. They've got things to do on the cars. Plus, they kind of got to give the guys some rest. They've been working probably 7 days a week, and at least race days, especially those rain race days, they're working 14 or 16 hours a day. It's been a long 4 weeks for them, so they're going to probably need a little bit of time off. But they've got a lot of work to do at the shop at the same time. They've got a lot of parts to replenish and replace, get the trailer stocked back up, and then not only going to Epping, but going to Denver. Denver takes a whole different setup. So you've got different rods, different pistons, different, just a whole different setup for going and running your car at Denver. So it's a lot of work that's going to happen in the next few weeks, and we'll be curious to see it. It seems like the same guys, the guys that run good and the crew chiefs that run good at Denver are always the same guys that go to Denver and they run well.
Yeah, and no question about it. And we've talked to Tommy Johnson about this on this program because he has a side business where he just works with other teams and selling
supplies
and stuff like that. Things that you don't normally think about. We're not talking about rods and pistons. And,
he's more like
talking,
rags and
right.
Cleaners and things like that.
Right, and these are things that we may not remember or think about when you're talking about replenishing the trailers. Is the basic necessities. So those are also important because you look around to try to get a rag or something like that. There's nothing there.
You used everything. Yeah,
exactly.
It's all gone. No, so there's definitely a lot of stocking up that needs to be done for everybody's probably going to take a little time off, go fishing or something. Except if you're John Force. John Force, I don't think he doesn't take any days off. He just goes 24/7. But pretty much everybody's probably going to have a little bit of time off to get re-energized and get ready for another long run.
Yeah, and so also 4th of July coming up here next week, and so that'll be one day that everybody gets off, and it winds up in the middle of the week. So that's a big help to most of the teams as well. Want to thank Matt Hagan, driver of the Mopar Dodge for Don Schumacher Racing, for joining us on this week's Straight Line. So for everybody involved, for Doug, I'm Marty. We'll talk to you next week here on MRN.com and the Straight Line.